Hello and welcome to the Dust 514 Basic Tutorial Part 1 done by VC Tarim and VC Kashmir. VC being Valor Coalition, one of the clans on Dust, and also Battlefield 3 and 4 when that came out. So we thought that at the moment there was no real tutorial that covered all the basics of this very complicated game. It's got a large MMO. It's got a large MMO part of this game, even though it's an FPS, and a lot of new players struggle a little bit. So we thought if we created a step-by-step guide, so you could understand the basics, you could go into the game and enjoy it more. This game is by CCP, and it's set in the EVE universe. It shares the same server as the EVE on the PC. And here we see what is basically the update screen. If there's any synchronizations or patches that are done, this is where that's done. And there will be a fair amount of patches and updates from time to time, especially if you're coming into the game for the first time. There'll probably be a fairly large update because this is a game that's going to be continually evolving and improving, and all for free. It's a character creation screen. I selected the empty slots, and basically here we can select the sex of the avatar that we're going to use within the game. We've got a choice of 4 races: the Amarr, Minamata, and we've got Gallente and the Caldari. The Amarr and the Minamata are shield and armor based, and the Gallente is armor based and the Caldari is shield based. I'm going to select the Gallente. This is more of a role-playing thing. It doesn't really have any importance. It's just a little bit of background to spice your character up. So we'll go through the options and select whatever one takes your fancy. It's not going to have any impact in game. And finally, most importantly, the name of your character, how you're going to be identified in game. I'm going to put a name in here, and you'll see in a minute that it's already taken using the normal PSN keypad that you would use in normal PSN operations. It's told me that that name's been taken, so I'll have to select a new one, and hopefully this one will take. The only thing different between this keypad and the normal PSN pad that you use to text your friends is there's no copy function. So I'll type in my new name. Once I'm happy with that, hit enter, and hope this time that this name is free for my character, and it is. So basically now you see the new character created on the far right. To my far left is my main character, and you can see that the passive is actually active on that character. This is very important for your main character to have the passive skill points activated on it, and I'll tell you why a bit later. If you buy a mercenary pack or other pack in PSN, it will give you items that you can assign to your character, and this is where it'll appear. So I could press and select any of these items to be used by this character if I so wished, and then it'd be available to me in game. So when you first launch the game, you will see this movie. A lot of people just skip through it. I would recommend you watch it at least once because it gives a very good overview of the game. And it's also got some hints of what they're hopefully going to do in the future, like PvE, for instance. At the moment, squad sizes are a 6, and previously it was 4, and we're playing in a maximum of 16 versus 16. So we hope then that the squad sizes will increase and the number of people in the battle will increase as well. If you wish to watch this movie again, you can always do so within the options. There's a help part in the options, and you can watch this movie as many times as you wish. There's only 3 game modes at present: skirmish, domination, and ambush, and we do hope there'll be a greater variety in the very near future, like in other FPSs. Just seen a shot of what looks like a table with a holographic projection on it. At the moment, that isn't working, and this is what I said earlier, things that they want to implement. We're hoping that in the future we'll be able to actually go around that table and discuss tactics before we actually go into the game. At present, it's just something nice to look at while you're waiting for the game to load in. At this point is you're looking over the head there, and then the one way that Eve can interact in what's called planetary conquest is that they can bring in orbitals from Eve into dust. This means that they can shoot at us. Unfortunately, we can't do what's happening in this video, which is shoot back. I assume at a later stage that this feature will be implemented. Is orbital strike in action. Basically, you get an orbital strike once your squad reaches 2,500 points. So, the more of you work together in squad, the faster you get to those points, and the faster you'll be able to use that devastating maneuver in battle. So we actually now loading up our mercenary quarters. Okay, this is my quarters. I'd just like to say that if you pick Gallente, your quarters may look a little different to this. For some reason, there are some bugs in this game. It's put me in a Minamata quarters, and I'm Gallente. Before I go into too much detail, I need assistance to do this tutorial properly. So basically, I'm going to need the help of my clan leader, Kashmir. So I'm going to send him a message to say that my new character is being created, and could he invite me into the squad? This type of thing, obviously, you may wish to use. If you know someone, and this is the best way to learn the game, is to try and contact them, tell them what your name is, and then basically they can pull you into a squad, what's called a squad, and they can talk you through parts of the game. It's nothing like learning from someone who's already played the game for some time. However, this can be quite complicated even if you got someone to help. So you've got this tutorial to show you exactly how to communicate with someone. and I've done that via PSN to start with, just to say my character name. And what he can do then on his side is search for my name. Once he searches for my name, he can add me to contacts and he invite me into the squad. Up the top, you've the notifications. I was just checking the notifications there to see whether I had any new mails, and you will get a email from that's automatically generated on entering the game. Just a welcome from CCP to the game, basically. So I'm basically just waiting for a squad invite from my fellow tester. To get up the chat, as you can see in the bottom right hand corner, use the select and the start key. You can see now that there's a flashing on the top right hand corner in the chat. And basically, it's to notify me that I've actually had a squad request. So I can go in there and I can select, yes please, I want to be in the same squad, and it's put me in the squad. Now sometimes the mic, if you're using a mic, it might not already be active. So we're going to take you through the process on how to make sure that your mic is active. Because obviously the rest of the game is a lot easier, especially for a beginner, if you can communicate with the person that's helping you out. Because this is such a big team game, comms are pretty essential. So I would advise anyone to get a USB or Bluetooth mic to use while playing this game. You may find that a lot of clans on this game will require you to have communications, as this is such a crucial element for tactics. So we're going to go down to this option before we do anything else. Go select the options, and basically we're going to make sure that the push to talk is off and the mic is on. The bottom two options on this part right here. And once this is done, this should mean now that the game is receiving your microphone signal. And if you notice, when we're talking, the actual mic symbol next to our game names is coming up green. I can activate my mic on any of these channels. I've just activated it on this channel. Then I can reactivate it back into squad. This is quite important if you're in a part of a clan and you want to talk to all the people in the clan, not just the people in your squad. Then you would go to your corporation and select activate your mic, and then you can talk to the people in your clan and tell them that you're looking for a group, or just chat about your general day-to-day business. Like any MMO, communication and community is a big part of this game, which is why comms are so important. At present, actually, Kashmir is narrating to me to make sure that we've got enough of space so I can do this talk over. So he's showing the notification, any emails, any squad requests, any invitations to channels, different channels by people, that type of information will be coming into that place for there. Local is basically the area which you're in. I'm not quite sure how it works in Dust, but in Eve it's basically it's where your ship is. So I would imagine that it's basically where you're in Galente, so it's Galente space. I was just looking down here, and as you can see, you've got different avatars. Now the avatars reflect a race for, as you can see here, and it shows your name and PSN name as well for the character. You also notice that there's the non-standard avatars, and these players are actually from Eve. So if we select show info on this one, notice you got the name of the avatar in question, but there will be no online ID. So that's a good way to recognize Dust player from Eve player. So the Eve players will be playing on the PC, linked to Tranquility, which is the server where you're playing from. And the Dust players are also on Tranquility too, but from the PS3. Okay, I'm just going to go to local to show you how we can actually communicate with people in a local without necessarily having to talk, turning on the mic. Out of interest, I'll just say that the corp that you're currently in is just random beginner corp that they put you in. So I'm just going to type here. And as you see, the text has actually come up in the right-hand communications panel. So basically, if you haven't got a mic, or you don't wish to talk to people for whatever reason, or you wish to communicate via mic but say something else in the text channel to other people, you could do so by just selecting, just typing in, and it will appear in the notification panel on the right hand side. So as you can see, it's going straight through. It's got my name, what I've written, and every single person in that channel will be able to see what I've written and reply if they so wish. So when you're part of a corp, or it's an excellent place to ask for, hey, put me in squad. Some of the options I've got on my clan leader, like mute, add to contacts, and other things that I can do. I can also send a message straight to him there too. And again, I can communicate by text rather than mic. You can notice that Kushmi has also written something, so we could have a text conversation if we wished. So before long, we're going to be seeing if we can get just showing again, I can read or delete any mails that come into my notification. They won't stay there a long time anyway, so you can just leave them there, and the next time you log in, any notifications are gone. And if this actual part is closed down, you will see the channel flashing. It's saying that there's some sort of update. So you can check that channel. It may be a new message. It may be that someone sent you an email in-game mail in notifications. And I'm just showing that I can actually activate my mic in this channel if I so wished. By the time you get into a corp, you will probably have many more channels than you have when you first start the game. And we will show you. You can just go to the bottom, create your own channel. But you don't need to know about that at present as a beginner. But we're going to show you how you would be invited to it. But first of all, we need to be part of the same corporation as my clan leader. This isn't a brand new character. I belong to an NPC corp, or a random PC corp rather. And I want to basically play with my friends and people I know, people who I know are good tactically, people I know have my back in the game and make it a more enjoyable process. So we're going to be invited to that later on. Before we do that, however, we're going to have a look around the room. So you can see that they're not just decorations. I can go into suit fitting here and have a look at my suit. Maybe add some equipment if I'm running low on equipment. We've got other options on the table like vehicles. We've got the I can launch myself into a battle from here if I so wish. All this can be done from the Neocom, but you can actually walk up to areas in the room if you wish, interact with these objects, and basically like a shortcut, I suppose. So the room's items are just not just there for show. There is a bed in the room as well, and it has no function at the moment, but there is a plan for it to possibly be a logout from your mercenary quarters on the bed, but that's not active. I'm looking at the market at the moment. I can activate this as a market, very, very important part of the game, because basically what happens is every time you die, you lose the equipment that your character had. So, and at the end of the game, you get what's called ISK, which is the in-game currency. And you can buy more equipment with that ISK, depending on how well you've done in the battle. Okay, so I've shown you that. The room, so we're going to see, first of all, the help function. And we got the training missions here. You can go in here, and I would highly recommend that you do these training. They're not exhaustive, which is why we done this tutorial video, but they do, they will help the beginner if you go through them. And as stated earlier, you can watch the movie again if you so wished. So we go up to the next one, which is your options. This is where we were before, and where we were looking at to make sure that the mic, so we could communicate with each other, which is the screen. This one is for your controls. The most important is your sensitivity. You may wish to lower or higher your sensitivity depending on type of game style that you have. Normally, if you like in close combat, you would have a higher sensitivity, and at a distance, then maybe you wish to tone your sensitivity for a bit more fine aiming. We have other options there. We've got move, we've got keyboard support, one of the very few PlayStation 3 games with keyboard support. And we've also got the credits here. Just like to draw your attention to the right hand side, and you notice that there is various things flashing. So basically, what's probably happening there is people are typing things in the text chat. It's just to let you know that there's been updates on that channel. So as I said earlier, we want to try and get into the corporation quite quickly, and we're going to show you how to do that now. So first of all, I need to find the corporation that I want to join. I'm going to type in the name of that, which is Valor Coalition, and put a search in. Now, I'd just like to say that there are many corporations out. There are corporations that are designed just for beginners, and I will mention Dust University as one of them. They're basically there as a training corporation to get you out on your feet. So I would highly recommend them if you're a beginner. You have other corporations then on the other side which require a kill-death ratio of over a certain amount. These are like elite clans. I'm just going to type a quick message to ask him to join the corporation here. So some clans would require you to have a fair amount of time on the game so that you understand what the game is all about, and you would actually have to be at a level before they accept you. I would also recommend you go to the Dust forums, the official Dust forums, where you can have a look at the Dust recruitment there. So I've requested that I join into Valor Coalition there. And you notice now that there's a notification again on the right hand side, the chat. I can also check mail from this position if I wish to. So I can check if new mail I can check that's come in while I'm playing the game. I can either check from the notification or I can check from my mail room. So looks like I've had a mail from Kashmir saying that I've actually made it into the clan. Our clan has a 2-week recruitment type of policy. Make sure that see if the chemistry works and whether the person that is playing can work as part of a team, because that's important as our type of clan. So basically you need to look for a clan, if that's what you wish to do, that suits you and your play style. And also the chemistry is very, very important as well. This is not really the type of game you can go on your own and dominate everybody, especially at the start. Due to people being on a long time and having superior equipment, it's better to run with a pack and help out your teammates, and they will help you out, and you will accrue more money and more skill points, and you'll find it a lot less frustrating and find yourself dying a lot less often. It shows on the right the amount of mails that I've got there. And I can actually send a mail back. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to say, thank you for bringing me in, or I can say whatever I want. And send the message from here. And Kashmir doesn't need to be on at this point. Maybe he's sent me a message that I wish to reply to when I was offline, and then when I come online, I notice there's an email there from him and I can reply to him when he's offline. So this obviously is a lot very handy to use your mail system to communicate with each other when your contact or your friend is offline. What I'm going to do here is add Kashmir as a contact. Now, this is quite a useful thing to do because, as you see now, I've got Kashmir in my contact lists. I don't have to press search. I don't have to search for Kashmir anymore. I can just go to my contacts and there he is straight away. I can select him. I can send him a mail. And obviously, as I meet more and more people, and if I have them in my contacts list, if I regularly meet them, then it's an easy way for me to contact them or them to contact me within the game. So we're going to go into the marketplace here and we're going to go over this. We will be continuing in part 2. So up the top left hand side, the new items is like basically CCP is sort of highlighting items, and you can they automatically scroll by, or you can use the L2R2 button to have a look what's on offer. Most of them we notice is like gold and it's got AUR. This is short for Aurum. We talked about ISK and in-game currency. The Aurum is actually money, in-game money that you buy with real money. So you spend your dollars or your pounds or your euros or whatever currency that you use to buy Aurum, to buy items within this game. We did say that the game is free, and it is totally free. But if you want to take some shortcuts, because you haven't got a lot of time, you can use your real life money to buy stuff in the game. But there is nothing in the game that you can buy with real money that you could actually use with ISK. It's just, it's going to take you a little longer to get there. The money that you are actually spending here is going towards obviously paying the people who support this CCP. They're actually creating new content all the time, updating the servers, keeping the servers, creating new maps, weapons, and such. So basically, this is their way of paying themselves to be able to obviously support the staff and to give extra things to people. It's an MMO transaction system, but anything in the game that you buy is basically just saving you time. Eventually, you would be able to use the same items with the ISK or with your skill points. It's just allowing you to use stuff at a quicker rate. And I'm just going through here and showing you the various packs that are on offer. Some of the packs give you free items, consumable items. Others are permanent items, which will save you ISK. And others give you just Aurum, so that you can spend Aurum in any way you want. And I've actually gone down to the buy Aurum here. And I'm going to show you that as well. And this is taking a while to load because basically it's communicating with the PSN server. And you can see here then the packs with increasingly large amounts of real money for increasingly large amounts of Aurum. Right, I will talk about the boosters in part 2. So I'm looking forward to joining you there. Thank you for listening, and see you in part 2.